The GPX 6000 comes as a complete kit to get you started quickly. When you first open the carton, you will see the two included coils, the GPX 11 Mono and GPX 14 DD. Beneath the coils, you'll find the detector assembly, incorporating the control box, control panel and shafts, battery pack, the armrest, the ML100 Bluetooth wireless headphones and the accessories, including AC mains plug pack, battery charge cable and detachable headphone cable. You will also find attached to the control box a getting started guide to aid with getting up and running quickly. There are two options provided for charging the battery, depending on what power source you have available. There is an AC charger for plugging into a 100 to 240 volt AC power outlet. There is also a DC charger for charging directly from a 12 volt DC car or truck battery. Press down on the battery locking lever to release the battery from the control box. If using the AC charger, connect the plug pack to a power outlet. Then plug the charging connector into the charging socket on top of the battery. The battery charging status LED will flash green during charging. When charging is complete, the LED will remain steady on green. If there is an error, the LED will illuminate red. If using the DC charger, attach the black negative clip to the negative battery terminal. Attach the red positive clip to the positive battery terminal. Then plug the charging connector into the charging socket on top of the battery. These instructions are included in the Getting Started guide attached to your detector and also available as a PDF from Minelab.com. First, attach the armrest to the upper shaft by releasing the armrest adjustment clip and sliding the armrest along the rail on top of the upper shaft. Position the armrest in a comfortable position, just in front of your elbow when you're holding the handle, and lock the armrest in place. Next, select your desired coil and attach it to the lower shaft using the supplied bolt and washers. The washers are inserted into the recesses in the coil yoke on the lower shaft. These are a wearable part and will need to be replaced periodically for optimal performance. Release the shaft twist locks and extend the shafts to your desired length, ensuring the coil is aligned with the control box. Then tighten the twist locks just enough to stop the coil from moving easily. Wrap the coil cable around the shaft, with the first turn passing over the top of the lower shaft. Plug the coil cable into the control box and tighten the locking collar. Ensure the connection is tight by pushing on the connector again and retightening the collar as needed. Insert the battery pack into the back of the control box. Your GPX 6000 is now ready to use. The GPX 6000 includes a 5-step volume control and 4-step backlight control, both indicated on the display. Use the volume up button to increase the volume down button to decrease the volume. Press the backlight button repeatedly to reach the desired backlight level. Start detecting right out of the box using intelligent automatic operation settings provided as the factory defaults. With intelligent automatic operation settings, GeoSense PI technology provides maximum depth by monitoring the detecting activity and environment. It automatically tracks and removes unwanted ground response, so minimal user input is required. To begin, before powering on, hold the coil 100 mm above and parallel to the ground. This will prepare the detector to complete the automatic noise cancel procedure. Turn on the detector. The detector will immediately complete an automatic noise cancel procedure, then start rapidly tracking to cancel the ground response. Raise and lower the coil for 10 seconds to expose the coil to the full range of the ground. Try to lower the coil as close to the ground as possible without touching the ground. Now you're ready to begin detecting with auto sensitivity and ground type set to difficult. The GPX 6000 automatically compensates for ground noise, EMI and sensitivity within 20 seconds of powering on. A factory reset can be performed at any time in order to restore the GPX 6000 back to the intelligent automatic operation settings. When the detector is off, press and hold the power button for 7 seconds. When factory reset is complete, there is a confirmation tone and the FP icon is displayed. Any standard Bluetooth headphones can be used with the GPX 6000. However, use of the Minelab ML100 wireless headphones is recommended for optimum wireless audio performance. Pairing the ML100 headphones is only required at first-time use. They will automatically connect for all future uses. Repairing is required following factory reset of either the headphones or the detector. To begin, make sure headphones are off and close to the detector. Then turn on the ML100 headphones and enter pairing mode by pressing the multi-function button until 2 ascending tones are heard and the status LED flashes blue and red. Enable Bluetooth on the detector by pressing the Bluetooth button on the side of the GPX 6000 control panel for 2 seconds until the Bluetooth indicator begins to flash rapidly. The headphones will automatically connect. An audible beep sounds to let you know the pairing is successful, and the Bluetooth indicator and wireless headphones indicator remain on. In very quiet conditions, the automatic sensitivity can be boosted from Auto to Auto Plus. Both modes automatically maximize sensitivity and track and remove ground noise. Auto provides smoother audio, while Auto Plus generally has slightly higher sensitivity, allowing weaker targets to be heard and should be used in locations with low EMI and low ground noise. In both modes, the threshold tone is off by default. Press the sensitivity adjustment buttons to select Auto and Auto Plus. When configured for intelligent automatic operation, you may encounter unwanted interference in the form of audio responses. This interference could be due to EMI or rapidly changing ground conditions. To determine the cause of the interference, hold the coil stationary above the ground. If the interference continues, this is due to EMI and you will need to perform a noise cancel. To perform a simple noise cancel, hold the coil 100 mm above and parallel to the ground. Press the noise cancel button. The noise cancel icon will flash and the detector will emit a series of short beeps while noise cancel is in progress. After 5 seconds, the detector will emit a confirmation tone. If the interference continues, this is due to ground noise and you will need to perform a quick track ground balance. Press and hold the quick track button. Then raise and lower the coil between 10 to 100 mm above the ground to expose the coil to the full range of the ground. Swing the coil from side to side once the ground noise has significantly reduced. This will capture any remaining ground signals for a thorough ground balance. Once the ground noise is at a comfortable level or will not reduce any further, release the quick track button. Selecting the correct coil size and configuration allows you to optimize your GPX 6000's performance in a range of detecting scenarios. The 11-inch round mono-loop coil is a great general-purpose coil that is recommended for most detecting conditions. It is a good all-rounder that has excellent depth and sensitivity. While it does not cover as much ground as the larger coils, it is a practical choice for detecting smaller areas and is easier to maneuver around obstacles. The 17 by 13-inch elliptical mono-loop coil is the top performer when searching for large, deep nuggets in less conductive salt ground. It can effectively cover large areas of ground quickly and efficiently. The 14-inch round Double D coil excels in conditions where there are high levels of electromagnetic interference or in very conductive soils. It can operate successfully in conditions that render mono-loop coils unusable. Use of the Double D coil is only recommended if good results cannot be achieved using a mono-loop coil and is not recommended for general detecting. To perform a Double D EMI noise cancel, ensure that the detector is off and the Double D coil is connected. Hold the coil 100 mm above the ground. The ground must be free of metal targets. Turn the detector on. Set the Double D mode to EMI by pressing the noise cancel button for at least 2.5 seconds. Swing the coil close and parallel to an area of metal-free ground near to where you will be detecting. Listen carefully to the signals. There should be audible tone variation, but not so much that signals sound erratic or noisy. If the detector is still noisy, repeat the simple noise cancel procedure. And if the detector is still noisy after this, reduce the sensitivity level. Swing the coil close and parallel to the ground when adjusting the sensitivity in order to remove ground noise. If the ground you are detecting on has low or consistent mineralization, you may be able to change the ground type setting from difficult to normal. This will give the detector an added performance boost for mild conditions. Press the ground type button to switch to the normal ground type. Perform a quick track ground balance. If you encounter ground noise that can't be removed via quick track ground balance in normal, press the ground type button again to return to the difficult ground type and perform another quick track ground balance to continue detecting. To determine if you are on a highly conductive ground, hold the coil at waist height above the ground, with the coil tilted parallel to the ground. Raise and lower the coil approximately 10 centimeters. If you hear noise that correlates with the coil movement, it's likely due to conductivity in the ground. Power off the detector and change to the Double D coil. Ensure the Double D mode is set to conductive ground, and then perform the quick track procedure and continue detecting. To optimize the performance of your GPX 6000, use the manual sensitivity control to find the highest possible stable sensitivity. There are 10 levels of manual sensitivity available, with the audible threshold tone active by default to aid with finding those weak signals you could otherwise miss. When using manual sensitivity, it's important to use the simple noise cancel and quick track ground balance procedures before reducing sensitivity, as this will provide the best performance. Use the sensitivity adjust buttons to reduce the sensitivity level to 1. If noise is the result of EMI, keep the coil stationary while adjusting the sensitivity. If noise is the result of ground mineralization, swing the coil close and parallel to the ground while adjusting the sensitivity. Increase the sensitivity level just enough that false signals start to appear, then reduce the level by 1. Sweep the coil over a clear patch of ground and reduce the sensitivity level further if any ground noise is encountered. A threshold tone is active by default in the manual sensitivity modes of the GPX 6000. With the threshold tone active, the audio response of targets is heard as a variation to the otherwise constant threshold tone. This can help to find very weak targets, as it can be easier to hear a variation in threshold tone than it is to hear a subtle target response. Some users may find the presence of the threshold tone to be fatiguing and prefer to detect with no audio unless there is a clear target response. The threshold tone can be turned on or off in both manual and automatic sensitivity modes. To toggle the threshold tone, press the ground type button for at least 2.5 seconds.